and I said, I am the most successful failure I've ever known. Really, the only thing that matters, aside from not smoking, is taking risks. Mm-hmm. And that I've always done. I have definitely always taken.
And you still do.
And I still do.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first episode of my brand new podcast, Dan Loves to Chat. Since it is the first episode, I wanted to explain a little bit about what the shows are going to be about. On the show, I want to have people that do interesting things. I want to have architects. I want to have chefs. I want to have astronomers. I want to have an HVAC guy. I want to have people that do a job, and I want to know how they do the job, and I want to know the shitty parts of the job and the corruption and the nitty gritty, and I want to learn and be curious and be nosy and do all this. I also want to have comedians on and screw around and make dick jokes and whatever. But I hope that each episode there's like some tidbits of things that I will learn and then forget. But I hope you learn something. So I hope it's fun, and I hope it's somewhat informational. On the first episode of the podcast, I have my dear friend Brenda Cullerton. She has been many things in life. She's been a writer, a journalist, a marketing master, an actor. She's done it all to a high level, but she will tell you that she's never really reached that like high level where you start to get famous. So she's been around a lot of people doing things at a very high level, but never really hit that star tier. And I ask her, but you know what she does? She just keeps going, and she keeps taking risks, and she's one of my favorite people. She's one of the smartest people. I love talking to her so much. I'm so happy to have her on the first episode. We talk about taking risks. We talk about living a fulfilling life, and there's no one that I like joking around with more. So I'm happy to have her here now. I'm happy that she'll be on a few more of the episodes in the future, and I hope you enjoy this episode with Brenda Cullerton.
What are you calling this podcast, if I might ask?
That's a good question. I think either Dan Loves to Chat or Dan Likes to Chat, and I'll tell you why. On in an ayahuasca journey.
Oh Christ! Here we go. First of all, don't call it a journey, because you know I hate the word. But never mind. Okay.
Experience.
What
word would you prefer?
You can use any word but journey. Okay, that's how sick I am of that word. Such a cliche.
Okay, under the effects of ayahuasca, when I was connected with a higher power, I was thinking about how like I find this very funny is that I like to chat, but I don't like to admit I like to chat, because I think there's something like sort of corny about guys. Like it always bothered me when if someone called you and said like, hey, want to come over? I'm like, what are we gonna do? And they're like, we just like have a chat. I'm like, okay. No. The reason I never started a podcast where I would interview people is because I fucking forget everything. So I'm obsessed with history. I'm obsessed with so many things, but I've learned about Roman history 6 times, and I don't remember any. If you were like, who's Hadrian? I'm like, one of the guys.
Oh, you're making me feel better by the minute.
So
okay, is all I
thought of when I was really high. I thought of a slogan.
No, but what is the great line that the comic came? The British guy, history. It happened.
It happened.
Which is one of the funniest lines I ever heard.
I don't know why people like history, but I do. I feel like it's kind of the best bits of the news.
Well, it's also so male. Are you kidding? I mean, usually it's middle age. That's when men start watching the History Channel, right?
I want to write that down.
Obsessed with World War II, obsessed with the Nazis. It's true.
Why do you
You're
think,
just a little ahead of yourself.
Why do you think men like history better than women?
Well, because there's not a lot of romance in history, and there's certainly, you can't really use your imagination because it's actually fucking happened. So I think it's something that keeps you grounded, keeps you focused. It doesn't take a great effort, really, to sit. Well, I remember you watching the History Channel. That was one of your riffs, was about how, somebody wanted to hang out at 11 o'clock or something. She wanted to sleep with you, and it was like she was interrupting the Gestapo.
No, she wanted to do whippets while I was watching.
Oh, that was it. That
a
was
World War II documentary.
Whippets. Imagine interfering.
Yeah.
But you are you can't tell me that you know other dudes your age who are big into history, because I don't believe it.
No, they all like history.
Oh, they do?
A lot of guys like it. I mean, not all of them, but a lot of guys like history. But I'm curious if you think that there's any reason. I mean, you think men like stats better, like men like numbers, like they like it's already done, so you can't really argue about it?
Certainly men would rather watch history than hunting wives. I mean, it's kind of a question that I don't even know if
There's famous romances in history.
Well, no, that's true. But I mean, I don't know a lot of men who you prefer to watch, the trenches and, gas warfare and bunkers and Hitler and, Winnie Churchill. I don't think you go in for the romance, of the czars.
It's hard for a woman to read about Henry VIII and be like, oh, I would love to be one of those 8 wives.
Well, certainly,
guys,
you'd be in trouble if if you were one of the 3. Being as that they were beheaded. But guys, what? Guys love to read about Henry VIII?
Yeah, and they're like, if only things were that easy.
Oh, if only they were that easy? Yeah. Oh, Jesus. That's all I could say. Well, have you ever, been out on a date and talked about history? Because that'd be a great way to break the ice, is all I could say.
Talked about history. Well, I don't remember anything about history.
It's happy hour. Let's talk about...
I don't remember anything about history, so what am I gonna say?
But do you really not remember? Compared to other stuff?
Yeah, I remember I remember personality dynamics really well, but I don't remember.
Okay, so name me a personality with a dynamic.
I just mean if I would remember a tension between 2 people.
Yes, so name me 2 people.
Any 2 in history?
Yeah, where
no, I'm just saying,
remember
I
that
never
tension.
So if I meet people in the world and I have any kind of strange exchange with them, I never forget it. That I have a photographic memory for any kind of awkward exchange I've ever had. Okay. But I just mean I don't remember. At one point, Hadrian is a famous emperor.
One of the guys, as you said.
One of the guys.
Marvelous memory of Hadrian.
The walls.
The wall. No, I can't believe that you fucking said that. But anyway, okay, go ahead.
But at the time when I first went, I remember when I was reading the Roman history thing, I knew a lot about him. I knew his dates.
Okay.
I think he's the one who many assumed was gay.
Well, there were a lot of gay Romans.
But he was, yeah, of course.
I mean, it was a pretty trendy thing.
But he had a lot of boys around, and I remember he was big into the architecture. He was a bit of a murderer, but he definitely liked the finer things.
This is.
And then they have the period of time where they have the 4 good emperors. I don't remember which ones they were. I know they ended.
One?
They ended with Marcus Aurelius, I guess.
Okay.
He was the last of the 4 good emperors. Anyway, I'm just saying, at one point, I could have. Bang, bang. I also I was big into the fall of the Soviet Union, and I could have given you all the leaders and what they were known for and stuff, but now...
Okay, so you know what it is? It's fucking ayahuasca. It's ketamine. Mm-hmm. It's microdosing. No, I'm not. I mean, really.
No,
maybe
I
this
just
is
don't
one
have
of the
maybe
side effects
I don't
of
have
all
a great
these
memory.
Journeys you're on. I don't believe that because you're one of the smartest I've ever met. So I can't believe that you have no fun. I mean, you're able to get up there doing comedy every night when you don't have a... 6-minute all done and make it up as you go. I mean, how could you possibly say you don't have any memory?
I shouldn't have any memory. I just feel like for as much as I like history, it's very difficult. It's every time I start learning something in history, I have to go back and relearn what I've previously learned.
Well, I can't, like I said.
But here's the point: is in my ayahuasca experiences and in spiritual experiences or whatever, I'm like, who cares? Who cares? If I want to relearn Roman history over and over again and I enjoy it, whatever. I'll relearn Roman history over and over again. I don't have to I don't have to compare myself to famous historians who can recall, because there's nothing that I find more impressive than guys who can and women who can recall dates and stuff like that, who can recall I
totally hear you.
Well, of course that Hadrian in 200 or whatever said this. And close.
So
people remember Shakespeare quotes from college.
Quotes. I mean, they remember entire sonnets.
That's what I mean.
I don't. But no, that I agree. I mean,
so
to have that kind of recall,
yeah,
is a gift. There's no question about it. But
I like to think that people who have fantastic recall don't really sometimes understand what they're saying. You know what I mean? In the piano prodigy sense, where people are he plays the music, but he doesn't feel the music. You know what I mean?
Okay, so always looking for how fucked up they are. In other words, if they have instant recall, there must be something the matter with them.
Or it's just I must be equal to them, right?
In some way.
My feeling, but it's not like that either, because some people have freak recall and also are emotionally connected to the Shakespeare quote. Either way, to answer your question. The idea of I thought that I should call a podcast Dan Loves to Chat, and the idea of that is very corny to me. I hate it very much.
But corny's very in right now. I mean, it's the whole nostalgia
I'm not
shit.
trying to be like earnest or whatever. I just thought that I just thought that I should do the name that I can't stand because it's kind of funny.
Well, that could be cute.
And I do love to chat.
I know that you do.
As you know, I'm not that youthful, but you've referred to me before as one of the more youthful people.
Well, you're still 20 to me.
I do like a phone call, and that's rare.
We talked about that the other day. I've been asking people about that, actually. I do think that I think the phone is coming back. I'm not kidding. I mean, I think that you started it, of course, as usual, Daniel, or whatever. You've been doing it for ages. But people who are your age that I know who never used to call are suddenly calling. I mean, I don't pick up, but I mean, this is the irony. I bitch and complain and say, nobody ever calls. All they ever do is text.
And what I'm
addicted to.
And then they call you?
No, and then they call. And, I finally found out how to turn it off, the phone, the button on the side there. No, because I have like an iPhone 3, so.
Why don't you answer?
Why? For precisely the reason why you guys never picked up the phone, because it's a big effort, actually, to engage like that. I mean, that's why I'm addicted to voice notes. I love pressing, the audio, whatever, the mic, and then just rambling on. Yeah, because I'm talking into the void. Also because I think that everybody's used to talking to themselves these days. I mean, I am a fabulous conversationalist when I'm talking to myself. I mean, truly, that's the whole basis of my Insta and everybody else, right? So, yeah, doing it conversationally with somebody else, ambushed is what I sometimes call it, doesn't come naturally to me anymore, even though that's the only way I communicate it. You don't even remember what it meant to talk on a fucking telephone, okay? You don't.
I never stopped.
Well, what do you mean you never stopped? You mean because from the mobile?
On the phone.
I mean, from the...
Yeah.
Ah.
I was always a big call guy, but I think that for me it's because I was always a big procrastinator, because there's no better procrastination than calling someone.
Well, and you could talk about history.
Yeah.
The next time.
Talk about anything.
Call me tomorrow. Let's talk about Adrian.
There's nothing better than when you've never called someone before.
Yeah.
Like when you kind of have a new friend or something, or someone that you don't think would have previously answered your call, but now for some reason you feel close enough. Like when you don't think that someone would pick up your call, and then you either have a reason to call them or you had like a fun experience, so now you're close enough and you call for that first time.
Oh my God.
And then, but here's what it is. When you call someone for the first time and they're not surprised by the call, they answer, and you can go and you can start talking in a way that's not ultra succinct, and they're like down for the call experience. That's one of the greatest joys in the world. It's a little bit like the first time you have sex.
So I knew you were going to say that. I knew you. No, I mean, you set yourself up for that one. But I do have to say that's one of the most ornate analysis of the phenomenon of picking up a phone that I've ever heard, Daniel.
Happened to me last night.
Well, with who?
A friend from comedy.
Oh, a new friend.
A new friend.
Well, no, it is like going to bed with somebody for the first time.
It's not really a new friend, but it's definitely someone who is, I view, and of course my internal rankings of hierarchies of life are demented, but I certainly view as a superior to me. You know? So.
Okay. Oh, wow. Now we're really... Shit, I never knew a call could be so complicated in terms of hierarchy.
I'm just saying, if you call to shoot the shit with someone, you're only shooting the shit with people who are...
You mean spill the tea?
Yeah, sure. The second you're spilling tea over the phone, the second you have a more than a 10-minute call with someone or a 5-minute call, you're kind of saying, okay, yeah, I'm your actual friend.
Yeah, we all yearn for relationships with those above our...
But I'm just saying that's a cell phone-based thing.
Yeah.
That's a talking on the phone-based
thing. It's a relationship.
Yeah.
It's a different kind.
Do you call people? You still call people, right?
No, I usually end up saying, I can't fucking believe that she hasn't called me. Or I can't believe he hasn't called me. Or I'm not picking that up. I mean, this is how my analysis go, my dynamic.
What have you learned about voice note etiquette? Is there anything that... Is there anything you've? Do people do it in an annoying way? One of the things
I'm always looking at.
Yeah.
Oh dear, you can't use this. You'll have to delete it. I like to see if people keep it. Okay, let's talk about hierarchy.
Yeah.
It's like, how good was that? No, was it good enough that they kept it
Yeah.
so they can go back and listen to it again?
It's like a like.
Yes, exactly. It's like a light. Or it's like, I don't have that setting on my phone because I don't know how to do it. But, when you send a text and it doesn't just say delivered, it says read.
Yeah.
Okay, that's terrible. Whoever the fuck invented that,
Yeah.
should be shot.
Right.
Because if it's read and in an hour and a half, you still don't hear anything, it must be very annoying for people. I don't have it.
Imagine that back in the letter days.
Back in the letters are back. Letters are back.
Yeah.
I got 2 letters this week with stamps and everything.
And did you mail them back a
From-
letter saying read?
Saying read. Oh, yeah, that's right. Exactly. Delivered.
Yeah, delivered.
No, it's...
Ah.
Shit, there is something magic about opening an envelope. There is.
Of course.
Yes, this is what I'm saying. I mean, we're all going back to analog. I really believe this. I believe that it's a big new phenomena. Going back to the way things were, Daniel, the way they were, okay?
Hooray.
I'm going to be a leader. Finally, I'm going to be a leader. Somebody was saying to me, it was a comic, actually, who asked me the other night, said, could you... This is a total digression. It has nothing to do with
Oh, no.
anything, but
We won't
name me
stick
2
to
words.
the script.
Name me 2 words that describe you. One phrase.
Yeah.
And I said, I am the most successful failure I've ever known. Do you
Wow.
get what that means or not?
Yeah.
I mean, not a failure. I mean, I'm not really a failure. This fucking but I've had, phenomenal success compared to many people, but just not enough to have actually, turned into a persona. I'm always periphery. It's like doing all these movies. I mean,
What did he
whatever
say
the
to
hell
that?
I am 74 years old. He laughed out loud.
Do you think you're a
Yeah.
big fish in the small pond, or you're just...
Nope. I think that I think some of it is luck. I think some of it is a lack of what's the word I'm looking for? Persistence or balls. Chutzpah. I'm comfortable. I'm more comfortable always behind the power or on the periphery or observing. I think you said this. Was it you who said to me the other? I'm a great observer. No, I don't think it was you. it was
No.
not you. It was somebody else.
You are a great
I
observer.
don't know what
You're an observer.
I am. It's one of the joys of my life, this observing. You can't be a great comic also. I mean, I'm talking about you, not me. If you're not a phenomenal observer, Daniel, you can't be.
Right.
I mean, who was I listening to? Bill Burr, I guess, the other day. And he's just so constant. He nails it so constantly that it's exhausting because he's always about the minutia of life. Of relationships.
That's the most
and
annoying
of,
thing that comedians do, is when they nail something that you've been thinking about for a long time in like one sentence.
Yep.
Very frustrating.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great, but it's frustrating. But you've had a lot of friends who have been
Yep.
extremely successful. Do you think that your life would be more enjoyable if you had one mega hit? Like, what if you'd had a mega hit 20 years ago
Right.
and then kind of that was it?
Yeah, I mean, I think mega hit in the sense also we're not just. I mean, anybody who does something creative.
No,
and
like one of
says
your
that-
books blew up and then got turned into a movie.
Exactly. I mean, it's a double-edged thing there because there's no way that you do something creative if you're not also looking for recognition. There are people who say that's really not why I do it. It has nothing to do with. Well, they're just liars. They're totally liars because there's no other. I mean, when you sit in a room and face a wall all day or a fucking computer to create something, you're praying that somebody is going to hear you. Or, I mean, it's the same for anything that you do. So I think, yes, I think that if 20 years ago, whatever, the memoir had made it, or the lady killer novel, or first of all, I'd have money. And there's no way that that's not important. And then second, I mean, it would, maybe when other doors had opened, it would have made it easier
for sure.
for
I always tell
traction.
people who spread themselves very thin and they're like good at a lot of things. I mean, I tell this to myself a lot too. It's like it's like if you make it, if you're a big deal in one area, you
Right.
can use that to springboard to
Like
anything.
history.
Like if I was a major historian, then I could use that to be a major food critic. But you can't, if you're a 6 out of 10 at a lot of things, it actually does nothing for you. If you care about like success, like if you just
Yes, but again, I mean, the whole thing is how you define success anyway,
right,
Daniel.
right.
I mean, you're a phenomenal success, I have to say, at the moment. And you've been incredibly persistent. No, really. I mean,
Thank
I
you.
don't know, where you go from where you are now, except that I'm hoping that you'll continue to live with all your confusion and your doubts and really your darkness, because when you lose all that as a comic, you're not funny anymore.
I doubt I'll lose. I think
what?
my worry is that it'll go the other way.
What?
It'll have more of that stuff,
You mean more success?
more confusion and darkness.
Well, good. I mean, the comedy will only get better. I mean, you're very young still. Like I say, Bill Burr's an old man. He's been around a long time. So is Norm, what's his face, who I adored, who died.
Norm
Terrible
Macdonald.
death, yes.
Is there any, so over the things that you've done where you feel like you've touched success, but
Yeah.
they haven't been, I mean, I think we can loosely say like, we know what it means for something to be like a hit. I mean, obviously we could get into it in terms of like, if it's a hit to you, it's a hit, whatever.
Right.
But in terms of something being like a smash hit where you make
Yes,
a
no,
couple $1 million or
absolutely.
whatever, is there anything that like, did you have any major things where you like, were you a punk or something, or you like turned down, was there any major mistakes?
Was I a punk?
Was there any major mistakes you made along the way, or was it just always bad
What
timing?
Are you kidding me?
No, of course.
Fucking
But was there
mistakes.
any time where someone offered you a bunch of money for a book and you were like, go fuck yourself or something like that?
No. I mean, when I was really working for a living, working hard.
You still work very
with
hard, by the
powerful
way.
people. No, I do. But I mean, when I was really getting paid for it, that I could have changed that absolutely. I could have come out, sort of the closet instead of being hidden. But I was paid more money, in fact,
And you were
because I remained hidden. As a
ghostwriting, essentially,
ghostwriting or as a creative, whatever, advertising or whatever, all those other gigs that
Yeah.
I did. And I didn't have a problem with it then. And the fact is, I don't have a problem with it now either, because when I really do look at my life, I think in the end, really the only thing that matters, aside from not smoking, is taking risks. That's the only thing. And so if you're going to, I would define success as somebody who's willing to take risks. And whether, you make $1 billion at it like Barry Diller or you don't, it's the risk that matters.
Mm-hmm.
And that I've always done. I have definitely always taken
And you still do.
risks. And I still do. Yeah. I mean, so in that sense, phenomenal, kind of life.
Well, that's all there
But,
is.
yeah.
No, but I think about that a lot too, because like I've thought about, here's a good example of me forgetting things, but there's a philosophy, I think it's Nietzsche, who says,
Oh my! Wow.
when you look back, he says you picture your life, you look at your life, and then like the idea of like you live your life. He says like, now imagine you live your exact life infinite times over.
Right.
What aspects of your life would you be excited to do again, and what would make you miserable?
I have no recollection of Nietzsche ever saying that.
Maybe
I'm
it's not
very
Nietzsche, it's some
impressed.
existentialist, but
Wow. Heidegger.
no, it's not Heidegger.
That you would live it infinitely
The
again and
the
again?
point is like, okay, so
like Groundhog Day?
exactly, right? So what would I not want to do again, right? Like I don't want to spend 1 second sitting
Yeah.
on my phone, right? Like what do I want to do
Oh,
again?
whoa.
What am I happy to do again is the times where I've pushed myself and been scared and gone and
Yep.
done something.
Yep.
And it doesn't even mean like, what do I want to do again? Like play a concert for 10 million people. It's like, what do I want to do again? That time where I'm not a guitar player, but like that time where like I auditioned for a guy who I saw on the sidewalk and like,
Right.
and was like, sir, I got to play you one song, and really like pushed myself to do that. Like that's the scary shit that I feel like when I think about those things, like that's the kind of thing that I would be happy that
But see, that is
I did
that
again.
is the brilliant irony that, to me, is that there is no greater motivator than fear. I mean, if I did therapy or if I was, faithful in therapy, that would have been the one thing I would think that the shrink would try and talk me out of feeling is so much fear. And yet, if I hadn't had that fear my whole life, I wouldn't have done anything because it's the thing that forces you, you know what I'm saying? To like, to face it or to.
Because you mean there's two fears, right? Like there's the fear of failure, but there's also the fear of doing nothing. And you were motivated by the fear of having done nothing.
Well, inertia.
Yeah.
You know, I have a horror of inertia, but I'm familiar with it. That's why I have the fear of it. You know, I mean, I know that I have those moments when it's just like, oh, fuck this, you know. Really, I'm not even going to go to Maman for hibiscus today. I'm doing nothing. I'm just sitting here waiting for the phone to ring. Why isn't she calling me? I'm kidding. Yeah.
You do have those days?
Of course I do. What are you kidding? I'm a total depressive. Of course I have
But
those
and
days.
even in those days, you do nothing? Like you do actually nothing?
No, I mean, I do. Of course,
No, but like
I don't
you shut
do.
in?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I mean, not like COVID shut in.
No,
not
I know,
as
but
dramatic as that. But yes, I shut down.
Because when I get really depressed,
shut
I
down.
walk around outside like a zombie.
Well, I do that too, like a speed walking zombie.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
not a slow zombie. I don't do anything slow.
So,
But I wish that people talked about fear more in a positive way instead of it being such a debilitating thing. You know, it's like I'm going to throw, you know, this is not Nietzsche or Heidegger, but Orson Welles. I think I already told you this.
Orson
the other
Welles?
day, didn't I?
TRB
One of the
academic.
no, but he was
I'm just
one
kidding.
of the most brilliant men. Never mind filmmaking or anything
Yeah,
else,
yeah.
just the way he thought. He said that when somebody asked him what was the key to his success or to creating he said, ignorance. You know, if I knew more at the time when I was doing something, I probably wouldn't have done it because people would have said, oh, this is impossible. You know, you can't recreate what the eye does. I think he was talking about that with a camera. And he said, you know, then I wouldn't have tried. I wouldn't have done it. But he said, without ignorance, I would be a nobody. I thought that was one of the best fucking quotes I've ever heard.
That's
because
amazing.
It's true.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if you have any idea when you start something how horrendous it's going to be, or also how joyous, you just wouldn't go there. And there are millions of people who never do. I mean,
I think I have a dumber version of that theory, but I think that people who get good at anything, like I think that you have to have a descending level of delusion. So when you start, you need to be delusional to start something because you think you're good and you're horrible. But you need to keep that delusion can't drop away immediately because if it does, you realize how much better everyone else is.
Right.
Than
That you can't think about.
No, but that's why you need to be like, I'm secretly like, I know I've been doing this for 2 weeks and people have been doing it for 10 years, but like,
I'm just as good at it.
or
I definitely.
I'm a prodigy. You know,
No,
like
that's definitely true.
And then, but if your delusion doesn't
No, but
start
I don't
to drop,
think it's delusional. I think that's ego, which is a completely different thing than
no, but
being delusional.
Isn't it also
No, because Orson
ignorance?
Welles had let's talk about an elephantine ego, massive ego.
Yeah.
Even though what he says about ignorance was totally
A lot of my
true.
friends who are the most successful will start new things, and I'm like, so many people have done that kind of thing for so long. How dare you think that you could just do it, and then they do it better.
Oh, and then they do it better?
They eventually do it better. They start, they suck, and then they figure it out, and then they do it better.
Like who? Are you talking about like comics, you know? Are you
No.
talking about...
business people.
Oh, business people.
Yeah.
In
the business world.
You should read... it's terribly written, but the Barry Diller memoir.
So but don't you think for Orson Welles, like, so you think ego and what is the word he was using?
Ignorance?
Ego and ignorance are like effectively the same thing as far as his trajectory. Like he's saying you need ignorance, but you think he also was.
Well, he had a massive ego. I mean,
so he's retroactively being like, I was ignorant in the beginning, but in truth, it was like, no, you thought you were better.
But I mean ego in a different way. I mean the kind where, you know, I mean his central issue, which I think is also the problem, or the central issue for all creative people, is that he refused to bow down to any other authority. He did not want to have anyone controlling him, having power over his product, and that's why he was insane, you know. I mean, turned into a complete drunk. People wouldn't work with him. They wouldn't give him any money because he believed in himself and in his vision enough to continue both to self-destruct but also to create. And I definitely think that comedy is an example of that dynamic at work, even more than writers or painters or whatever.
The best comics also don't fear the gatekeepers, like they don't play the game.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think the brilliant ones really don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And what an amazing salvation that is for us living through this moment right now.
Mm-hmm.
Really. I mean, when I watch great comedy, you're among them. I truly have moments when I think, thank Christ this exists, and that it's as huge as it is.
Yeah.
And that it's, I mean, I've said that to you before, that I can't believe how many horrible comics are out there your age. I mean, I can't believe how many very young people think I can do this, and they're doing it in barbershops and bars and,
But that was me at one point.
Yeah, I know, but you didn't suck like that. I mean, you sucked.
I was a prodigy.
You did. Yeah, that's right. You were a fucking prodigy. You and Adrian.
I was
okay?
right. Yeah.
Adrian, Hitler. Yeah, I think I've completely lost the train of thought now. Okay, you're lucky you've had me this far.
No. I got you. You're saying that you're happy that comedy is a real
oh my God
thing.
I think it's a miraculous thing.
Was there anything is there any times where you weren't ignorant enough to make the jump on something? Like, because you've done a lot of writing, you've done a lot of acting, you've done a lot of comedy, you've done a lot of, script writing. Is there anything I'm missing? What else have you done?
I don't know. I have short-term memory loss.
You ever done any cookbook authoring?
Oh, cookbook.
You've done a lot of marketing.
Right. Oh, yeah.
A lot of brand imaging.
Brand work, as they call it these days. So what's the question?
Was there ever anything was there ever any pursuit that you were too much of a wimp to try?
Yeah, comedy. I mean, when I watch, like I say,
a great
set. Oh, yeah, no, I did try it. But when I watch a great set, I think to myself, Jesus Christ, I cannot believe I ever did that. I can't believe I was courageous and insane enough to get up there and do that.
But you did it.
Yes, no, I did it. But the point is, I didn't do it enough.
Yeah.
I mean, I could have kept doing it. I remember you saying, there was some woman who would occasionally get up like every 2 months or something and do a set. Well, she wasn't a comic. I mean, she was lucky, fortunate enough that she was good enough to be able to do it. But that's not, you have to do it all the frickin' time. And that is something that you can tell within 30 seconds, I'm really not kidding you, how long somebody's been doing something. Because it's about ease. It's just...
Yeah. It's not... It's two things. It's not being afraid of it going poorly. You can tell when people are afraid it's going to go poorly. And it's being comfortable enough on stage where you're some semblance of yourself.
Yeah. I mean, I'd love to know what you discover about yourself... Really, no, on stage versus off. I mean, that's one of the things that fascinates me. It's not like acting, because great comedy has to be personal. It really has to be about who you are. And you got to be willing to strip. It's an emotional striptease.
But what, so do you when you watch comedy, as the one thing that you think you kind of didn't really go for,
right?
Are you upset? Like, do you wish you had more?
Oh, no. I'm way too old to be upset. The runway's too short. Way too short, Dad. No, I am not upset. I am just struck by the wonder of it. Truly, the wonder of it. And the fact that I dared to go there and that it's opened up this incredible world to me that for my age, I don't know a lot of people my age who see comedy as much as I do and who know comics and who, they're astounded. It's like... So, yeah, it widened the world in that...
Do you tell people when you... Sorry.
Yeah, no. I was just going to...
Wait, no, you give it to me.
It's 3:55, okay? So, yeah,
no, but my question was, I don't feel like you push... I don't feel like you... Like, when you meet people and you feel like they think they want to do something, but they don't have the ignorance or they have a fear of doing it rather than a fear of doing nothing. I don't feel like do you get on people or like you should really do that thing? Like, do you try to motivate people that you meet into doing?
All the time, dude.
Yeah.
What do you say? I think I did that with you.
But I don't feel like you're too prescriptive. Like, you're never like, hey, you're going to regret not doing that.
Oh, no, not like that. But I think, the biggest form of encouragement is listening. Because listening, automatically makes someone feel like they're credible, or we know what I'm saying, that whatever they're
You listen to me
talking about is worth always. And that's, the way that I encourage.
when I was just a cocaine schemer. Like, what if I did a website?
Before you discovered fucking ayahuasca journey.
Ayahuasca.
That's right. When is the next journey? Let's wrap this up.
Probably October. I've got 2 questions for you.
Okay.
These are sort of unrelated, and we'll have to do this podcast 9 more times.
What? This was very fun. I don't think you're going to have anything to use, but it was very fun to do it.
You want to bet?
Yeah, I do. And
how much you want to bet?
Right
I'll bet you a dinner at Cote Korean Steakhouse.
Okay, I can't go quite as up.
That
quite
we
as highbrow
get.
as that.
No, because it's a win-win for you. If you win, this will have some success. And if you win, you'll also get a free meal.
Oh, that I'd love.
At
I'd love
Cote
to go back there.
Korean Steakhouse, sponsored
just
by.
So I can see your name
on the butcher board.
No,
this is going to be fantastic. This is a wonderfully insightful, lovely conversation.
Oh,
I mean that from the bottom of my heart.
Excellent.
Okay, why do you think young people are drinking more martinis now?
I thought everyone was fucking sober curious. What do you mean they're drinking martinis?
Martinis are back in.
Since when? Since like last week?
There was a huge New York Times spread about it.
Oh, God.
All the girlies are drinking martinis now.
Also, when did girly come back? Excuse me. I fought tooth and nail to be called Ms.
Yeah.
And suddenly, everybody's a girly. Girls, anyway. Why do I think martinis are back? Because they're fantastic. And if you're in your 20s and 30s, why not? It's it's a beautiful ritual. It's like going to church. The perfect ice chilled with 1 olive, not 4 olives or whatever, is a divine way to kind of indicate you're ready to kick back and spill the tea.
Yeah.
No, really. Why? But I am surprised to hear you say that, because a month ago nobody was drinking.
No.
And the entire,
I would say drinking as a trend is going down, perhaps, but in New York, like going out culture, the girlies are drinking martinis.
Well, yes, I say this to Nora all the time. The girlies, as you have ruined every wonderful place in New York City. No, they've ruined it. I'm not kidding. That you have to stand in fucking line to go. I'm not even going to name some of the places because it would make me sound so whatever. Yeah, I guess that it's like you never saw the Thin Man movies. I've been screaming about the Thin Man. You all need to watch the Thin Man movies. They were made in the 40s. That's all they drink. They drank, they smoked, they had a tiny little dog, they were detectives. Just style. A martini is like a cigarette, essentially. It's a taboo, and it looks good, And girlies,
the girlies,
as you call them, Daniel. Jesus.
Yeah, maybe that's wrong.
Men aren't drinking martinis? Of course they're drinking martinis. Okay. Not just girlies.
No, men are drinking martinis. Yeah. My theory on it is that it's classy, but it's also it's the height of classiness. It also gets people really bombed fast, and then they get to go have sex and then feel guilty about it.
Okay, so I would say not for sex. I would say that how could you possibly not be drinking martinis during this time that we're living in right now? How the fuck? No, really, I'm dead serious.
Because we need to face things with a sober mind.
Yeah. Yeah, right, Daniel.
Okay, last question.
Okay.
Do you think that promiscuity? Do you think promiscuity over time just goes like this since like the 70s, or do you think it's trending in one direction or another?
Promiscuity?
Yeah.
What a odd question. When has promiscuity not been happening?
Well, people say now people aren't, that the Gen Zers
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
Sex.
It's like they're drinking martinis, but they're not having sex.
Well, no,
anymore.
I think the millennials and I think the 30-year-olds are drinking martinis and 26-year-olds. I don't think the newer generation
I think that, swiping ruined it. Honest to Christ. Swiping took all of the romance, out of foreplay, all the fear away, I don't know. It's like paying a Con Ed bill. You might as well pay a Con Ed bill in terms of doing right and left. I think that's part of it. I think it was overindulgence, I think it was expectations were absurd. I think there was so much lying going on. If you meet someone in a bar or at a gym like you, by the way, and this is off the cuff, you weren't really doing stand-up in a fucking sauna at a free-flow spa fueled by a cyber farm, were you? Because I thought I was hallucinating.
Yeah.
Are you kidding? What, did you do that spontaneously?
I didn't just get up there. Okay, so I did stand up in a sauna at Othership, and it's a show that they do once a month.
Oh, that's the one that's fueled by the fucking data mining in the basement.
When you say fueled, it makes it sound a little more extreme.
Well, like free flow.
Yeah.
That's the one that advertises free flowing. I thought I was going to die. It was like, please tell me that I'm imagining this. Okay, at least you weren't nude.
With a headset.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And was the heat on?
Yeah, but they keep it a little lower. They open the doors so it's not.
I have never heard of anything more uncomfortable in my life.
No, it's great. It's a great show.
Sweating in a sauna.
Really hot.
With a stent. Really hot.
It's a hot show.
Really hot show. All right, I've loved being
so
here.
Wait, so your overall position is that
on promiscuity?
Dating apps should be banned. I think dating apps.
I don't think they need to be banned. I think people are getting off them anyway. I mean, I don't think it's a question of banning. I think they're tired of it. I mean, it's lonely. It's a lonely fucking thing, dating like that. Alone in your room in the dark, swiping with the blue light behind you. And also,
I have red lights in my room.
Red lights. Also, we're not supposed to be judgmental anymore, are we? And those apps, it's all based on judgment. Every single one of them.
I think being judgmental is back in.
Being judgmental. Well, it's never been out of my style. I mean, I've never abandoned, being somewhat judgmental. The best people
you're free. Fine.
Joy, can I just push this away?
You can push it away as hard as you want. Oops, not that hard.